Street Talking Other Stuff. Welcome Monday morning to this snowy Monday morning. Snow 2 days in a row. You know, here I'm thinking we got a mild winter, not that much of a deal. And February is just, actually it's not that bad still, but only a couple more weeks and spring will be here. Won't that be great? But hey, it is pretty cold outside. You know, it is so doggone cold that the cops the other day told a robber to freeze, and he actually did. And then, but the thing is, robbers now, they're holding people up only with a bucket of water. And it's so cold that Elon Musk has his hands in his own pockets. Okay, hey, I've got a really good show for you today. Now, this is something new. This is a new thing that's coming up. And I am kind of ignorant about it, so I'm going to learn as well as you do. But I've got two great guests, so you stick around. Street Talking Other Stuff. We will be right back. So.
This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. 16 of the Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and Epicurean delights. With 4 unique winery tracks and 5 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure, so don't wait. Tickets are selling fast. Visit TasteChelan.com today. It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The Special Olympics Washington Winter Games returns to the Wenatchee Valley for the 35th year, the weekend of February 28th. 900 volunteers are needed to assist more than 1,200 participants and coaches throughout its 3-day run. From assisting on the slopes of Mission Ridge to keeping score of basketball games, no special skill is required. To volunteer, please visit the website on the screen.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Street Talking Other Stuff, and I would like to introduce my new friends, Tyson Ward. Tyson, nice to have you. Okay,
Hey.
And Hannah Blank. Hannah, we're honored. And these folks are involved with an upcoming improvisational theater experience, which is going to be presented in Wenatchee pretty soon, called the Mini Quest Tavern. And you're saying, well, what might that be, Mike? And I'm going to say, I don't know. So that's why I had you guys on. So nice to be here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
for having us.
Okay, so let's start with, Tyson. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Tyson Ward. I'm from Wenatchee. I currently live in Ellensburg, but I did a lot of theater here back in high school when I was in my 20s. I'm in my 30s now. But I got involved doing improv here years ago. Met my wife working on a play. We moved out of town, but then I heard about this improvised D&D show that some friends
D&D, what does that mean?
Dungeons and Dragons.
There we go.
Dungeons and Dragons, which people have probably heard of through Stranger Things on Netflix. That had a big spike in popularity of D&D, or Critical Role on YouTube. Or a podcast like Dungeons and Daddies or something. But it's sort of like a fantasy role-playing game where we play as fantasy heroes and go through fighting wizards and dragons in dungeons, or a dungeon inside a dragon. I don't know. Anything can happen.
I'm glad you don't know. Yeah. That makes 2 of us. Okay, so Hannah, how about you? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I've been doing theater on and off since high school, so maybe the last like 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
I've taken a gap, but I used to do a lot of productions at
Okay.
Eastmont with Cynthia,
Yeah.
who's doing the show as well. So
Yeah, right. And you like to work backstage, you said.
yeah, I do
Which
mostly.
I don't understand. You should never let me work backstage because I would.
Yeah, this is the first time I've been on stage in quite a while. I'm
Okay.
usually on lights or running soundboards, stuff like that. So.
Okay, well, look, give us a basic idea of what this show is, okay? But first, when is it? How much are the tickets? And how people can get involved. Now, I'm going to have you do that information again later, but pay attention now so you can write down how you get your tickets and where it's going to be. So tell us about it. So
The dates are February 28th and March 1st.
Okay, so
And
2 nights.
Yes,
Okay.
it'll be starting at 7 p.m. at Host Wenatchee here in town, which is at 10 South Columbia Street, number 202. And you can find tickets on the website, I think.
Yeah, we've got like a website and then also on Ticketmaster, and you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under the Mini Quest Tavern.
Mini Quest
Okay.
Tavern.
So if I go to Google and put in Mini Quest Tavern Wenatchee, it'll come up.
Yeah, you'll find us everywhere.
I hope.
Okay.
I really hope. I hope the algorithm will be kind to us.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what is this? First, maybe start with telling us about Dungeons and Dragons now, because it's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Talked about that earlier. I first heard of it back in the early '80s. I think it was earlier than that. But what? And but I know people that still host
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons parties. So what? Tell us about it.
So D&D is a TTRPG, a tabletop role-playing game, which is sort of like, in the context of the show, I am what's called the Dungeon Master, which is I'm going to be sort of like narrating and controlling events that happen, arbitrating like successes and failures based on dice rolls. And Hannah here is going to be one of the possible player characters, Briska the Barbarian.
I am.
The kind of Valley Girl Barbarian, right?
Yes.
And the
Valley Girl Barbarian.
A fun twist on it.
and instead of like the usual like what are called actual play shows, something like Critical Role, where the characters and players are the same person.
Yeah.
Up on stage, we will have our heroes, which will be chosen by the audience. And 6 random people in the audience will get to play as those characters up on stage. Get to decide what they do and how they do it. And
Okay.
see if they succeed or fail by rolling dice, which I will then decide if they're able to succeed or not.
Okay.
Yeah, just like a standard Dungeons and Dragons game, we've got a selection of people that are making all the choices about what happens in the game and everything that happens, and can totally derail us. But that's kind of what makes it fun. And then the rest of the audience, they're sort of helping to vote and make changes and names of places and people and all of that as the story goes on.
Okay, well, be a little more specific about. Okay, let's say you say, Mike, we're going to teach you how to play Dungeons and Dragons. Be a little bit more specific about how that goes. I mean, you're talking about role play and rolling dice, but how does that all morph into an actual thing that you're doing something?
Well, in my opinion, Dungeons and Dragons and these games are very improv focused anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty natural way to extend that out.
Okay.
Where, as opposed to like a movie or a book or even like video games, in a game like this, the players have a lot more ability to affect the story.
Okay.
In either through succeeding or failing, like deciding like instead of like picking the lock to this door, let's try to climb up and cut a hole through the roof or something.
Okay.
Which is a thing that's happened in a game that I
Okay,
ran.
and the characters can decide to do something like that in the midst, and the rest of you have to go along with it, or can you yell at them and say, no, we don't want you cutting a hole in our roof, or...
I as the DM, or in a normal game, I as the DM would play an NPC, a
And
non-player
DM is
character.
Dungeon Master,
Yes, Dungeon
right?
Master.
Oh, okay.
Also sometimes called the GM, Game Master.
Okay.
But in this, it's like if somebody decided they wanted to do that, like cut a hole in the roof, we'd probably be like, oh, somebody else would come on stage as the homeowner then, which Hannah might do that if she's not picked as one of the characters.
Okay.
And then we'd probably have another fun scene of them like, excuse me, why are you cutting the hole in my roof? The carpenters are coming tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, so this is actually, this improv stuff, you got to think on your feet.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was telling you earlier, that's basically how I learned to act, was by doing improvisational theater, and it can be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to think quick. You know, and you got to be willing to adjust when somebody else says they're going to cut a hole in your roof.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so when people are going to come, what will they experience? Okay.
Yeah, so
Let's say I show up, and again, being the ignorant person I am about all this, you know, and I come up here, what's going to happen, you know?
yeah, so everybody's, you know, gonna file in. We've got a selection of big round tables. They've all got really cool centerpieces, so people can kind of pick their own seats, sit wherever they like.
All right.
Eventually, our amazing hosts who are helping us with the show are gonna come around and give everybody a little baggie, and it's got a set of dice that you get, or like a D20 that you get with your purchase, and then some stickers.
What is a D20?
That is the dice.
You guys got to be careful. Come on. We don't know what you're talking about here.
Can't use so much jargon.
So much jargon. That is the dice that is used and rolled to make all of the decisions in the game.
It has 20 sides from 1 to 20.
Oh, it's not a regular set of bones,
No.
then, right?
A
Okay.
regular die, we call it D6.
Oh,
Yeah.
but these are a D20.
Yeah, D20.
Oh, now I get it.
So you'll get, you know, a set of stickers and then a D20 that you can use throughout the game to kind of make decisions if you end up being a player. And then some of those people will also be selected to be players, and how we do that will be revealed during the show.
Okay, so you're not going to tell me now how you're going to select. Oh.
I can't. It's a secret. But there is a way that we do it throughout
Will it be
the show.
a matter of exceeding good looks, or you know,
That is
strong experience of masculinity
That's
that
one
just
of the
comes across?
many strict criteria we have for deciding who will be a player.
Oh, okay.
So once we've selected our players, then and they, you know, are familiar with the rules and stuff through the descriptions of our host, then we will have all of our actors who are playing playable characters come out, introduce all of their characters. We have made it intentional that there are more player characters available than we have people in the audience that
okay.
are selected.
All right.
So you'll have lots of choices to pick from, and then anybody who isn't picked will help us be NPCs and monsters for the rest of the night as they run through this story we've created.
Empty season monsters?
Yeah.
Non-player characters,
Yeah.
so people that are like the barmaid at the tavern and are the sheriff and the king and, you know,
all right.
yeah, and then monsters like, you know, goblins that attack.
Ooh, goblins.
Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
goblins.
So yeah, lots of fun.
Will the
costumes and
goblins
stuff.
be able to kill the Valley Girl? Is that a possible
yeah,
scenario?
absolutely.
It's a definite possibility. At our run through last night, we had our first fatality that I'm aware of.
Really? Who died?
It was
The Valley Girl?
No, not me.
Got close.
I rolled good.
Yeah, but that's a character that is very popular.
Yeah,
and
I am.
I think people would be very sad to see him die.
To see the Valley Girl die?
Oh, the one who died last night. I think every time we've done a run through, he's been picked, right?
Who was it?
Lord
you
the
know-
Goblin.
Yeah.
Oh, goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah, killing goblins. That's socially acceptable, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Glorb is a good guy.
Yeah.
You know.
He's a goblin bard, so he plays music and performs, and he's
Glorb.
very
Yeah.
fun. Glorb, that's his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, but that's kind of what people can expect, and it's going to be around 2 hours with an intermission in the middle for people to kind of make a big decision in the story. Yeah, and he just kind of runs the whole thing, takes it away for all of us, and like what happens.
Anything I can't think of, I put it on the audience to come up with it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so will there be snacks involved?
Yeah, we've got little table snacks that are going to be at all of the tables, and then we've also got drinks that are available. There's an open bar for people to purchase drinks and stuff
Okay,
like that.
all right. Okay, cool. Sounds like could be fun.
Yeah, we hope so.
That's our motto all the time. It could be fun.
Okay.
We just have to hammer it out, figure out what can be fun, and make it more fun.
Okay. So you're actually very excited about this.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you guys seem really passionate about this type of thing.
It's great. A thing I love as a game master is going in and not knowing what's going to happen.
Okay.
That's
all
what gets me really excited. How are they going to mess this up today?
Now, and how much do you sometimes intercede to change things if they're not going well, or?
I do my best to spin things, make things that seem good bad, or bad things seem good.
Okay.
Anytime the story stalls, if someone fails, I'll let them succeed at a cost.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
maybe you try to break down the door and you do, but dislocate your shoulder.
Or have to date that Valley girl,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay, look. All right, we were talking with Tyson Ward and Hannah Blank. They are two actors and people involved with an upcoming event called the Mini Quest Tavern, which is going to be on the last day of February, first day of March. Going to be at Host Wenatchee, which is 10 South Columbia Street.
Yes.
My gosh, I'm remembering stuff today. Wow, it's really good for a guy my age. But look, we're going to take a break, come back, talk with Hannah and Tyson a little bit more, but Street Talk and other stuff. Stick around, we will be right back. So.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Okay, we're back. As I said, we're talking with Tyson Ward and Hannah Blank. They are involved in an upcoming event called the Mini Quest Tavern, which is going to be February 28th and March 1st, 7 o'clock.
Yes,
okay?
7 p.m.
At Host Wenatchee.
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But who is the mastermind behind all this? Who got this whole thing started? Rolling, that kind of stuff.
I think it's really Cynthia.
Cynthia Brown.
She's had the idea for quite a while. She's just kind of been getting people together. It's been behind the scenes for a long time. And then she was working with Allie McGee. So they were kind of getting things behind the scenes and then slowly reached out to a bunch of actors and have gotten it really started rolling in early December. And then we've been doing stuff since then.
Yeah, well, Cynthia and I, I've been doing theater with Cynthia for a long time. She produced shows for me. I kind of remember if we were ever in anything together. But yeah, she directed me in shows. A very, very important part of the live theater community here.
Yes,
she did. She had an improv group many, many years ago. So, and then, as you said, she was the theater director for Eastmont High School for a long time.
Yeah, and that's where I met her as well.
Yeah, and how about you? Your connection with Cynthia? So.
I met Cynthia working, she recommended me to fill in for a part in a play. That would have been 2010. And then afterwards, I got involved working, I believe, in the same improv group you just mentioned with her, which I think at the time was Mission Improv.
Mission Improv, right? I remember that. Yeah.
Later became Apple City Improv.
Okay.
And I was in a play she directed, I Hate Hamlet, and then later on did a murder mystery with her. I want to say it was called Pirates of the Salty Dog. It was a pirate-themed murder mystery. I was the victim in it.
Okay.
Clive the Swallow Morgan was a very Jack Sparrow type character.
Okay.
And then I ran into a friend in Leavenworth, and he told me about this. He was like, Cynthia's making some kind of D&D show, and I was like, I want in on that.
You want in on that?
I don't know. I don't care what it is. I want in on that.
Okay, so who's your target audience group? I mean, who are you looking to attract?
Yeah, It's a wide range.
Okay.
It's kind of available for whoever, but I think really who we're wanting to target are people that have always kind of been scared to try D&D, are on the edge. They're like, that looks fun, but it's intimidating. It's been around for a really long time, and there's a lot of people that don't feel comfortable getting in with a more experienced group. And so I think we're really wanting to show people it's not scary. It can be tons of fun. And targeting it with like a very dumbed down version of the rules. It's easy for a lot of newer people that haven't played Dungeons & Dragons before to experience. So we're hoping to bring in mostly new Dungeons & Dragons people, but also people that just love Dungeons & Dragons, want to do a show, want to see our funny characters and the stuff that's going on there.
So the dumbed down version of the rules. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now here's the thing. I show up, okay, and I come in. What's going to happen to me? I mean, what's going to, you don't necessarily know me or that kind of thing. What's going to happen? So I wanted to see if I can set at ease people who are considering coming, but go, I don't know if I want to do that. But
I don't think there's anything to really be scared of. We try really hard as actors to be very interactive with the people that are in the audience.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to hang out with us, after the show, during the show. We're not intimidating people. Dungeons and Dragons isn't intimidating.
Okay, well, see, I like that kind of thing. I like, but some people are a little bit. Are you going to be able to tell if people are kind of going, I'm here to watch and just kind of...
I think we can. I'm personally pretty good at being able to tell, and I think most of my fellow actors are as well.
The lucky thing is, if you don't want to be a player character, you can pass that off to somebody else.
Okay.
Even if they don't fit the very strict criteria we discussed earlier. But the fun thing, though, is that everybody gets to affect the story in a way. Several times I'll call out for what is the name of this place? What monster shows up? The druid summoned what animal? And the audience just gets to yell it out.
Okay, yeah. So if you're there and you just want to watch and not really get involved, you can do that.
Yeah.
And something might come up, a question might come to inspire you, like how should we kill the Valley Girl? Should we strangle her or stab her?
In this scenario, Vriska becomes the main villain, I guess.
When am I not?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to most of this? Okay, I mean, I know that when you're in a show, there's parts that. What are you looking forward to? What's the thing you most want to see happen, or you most want to get involved in?
I think I'm just excited for people to have a really good time. The hope, I think, with this show is that it would become more than just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And if people really enjoy it, that's the best outcome because it means we get to keep doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
And that it becomes, kind of an ongoing thing that we're all really passionate about and want to be able to keep rolling.
Yeah, well, I think I know that's what Cynthia would like to do, to make this an ongoing type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think for me, the thing that gets me the most excited is the same as when I run a regular game of D&D or other games, is the things that I don't know is going to happen. The funniest thing I think that's happened in a run-through was a skunk appearing. And it just... That became like a through line for the entire rest of the game, and I didn't plan that at all. It just came up based on a thing a player wanted, and it was the funniest thing that has happened in any of our run-throughs, I think.
A skunk.
A skunk.
Came in, okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so if, now is this, you're going to do this show, it's 2 hours, you say. Now is this going to, let's say you do another show, is this going to be progressive, or does each Dungeons & Dragons event is it a whole new scenario?
Yeah, so the thing is, we're planning on having them be miniature adventures that are completely separate because the ending of one and the story arc of just even this single show could go any number of ways. So there's not a way to really progress it exactly where it came off. So it'll be a completely new story, but we're planning on keeping all of or a handful of the favorites of characters so that they can be kind of these reoccurring things that people are fans of that they want to see again. They're going to a story specifically to see Vriska. They're going to go see the show
Glob.
specifically for
Glob
the Goblin. Yeah.
Okay.
I
didn't know if I had
Happy
his
the
name
Warlock.
right or not.
So we're hoping that people can really kind of cheer on these characters and the story changing or not, they're really just there to see the people.
Okay. Well, does every story resolve?
Ideally, yeah.
Okay.
One way or another, I will make it resolve. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, because I just read a book by one of my favorite authors, Scott Turow, and it was a thriller. And it started getting close. There was only a couple pages left, and I haven't figured out who murdered the guy. Yeah, so okay, but you try to make it resolved so that people aren't leaving. Oh my gosh, I really never knew what happened to, the Valley Girl.
Yeah. We have a framework that we work off of, and there's a definite ending that will happen.
Okay.
Who will survive, though? We don't know.
All right, so how many actual people do you want to name the people who are going to be there? I know you brought the list.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got our director and producer. We've all worked on it, but she's kind of the one that's been helping us to put it together, and that's Cynthia Brown.
Is Cynthia one of the characters in the show?
She's not. No, she's just helping us to put it together and kind of making the calls that we need to really make the thing happen. And then as some of our actors on stage, we've got Milo Clanky as Ron the Druid.
Right, Milo is Cynthia's husband.
We've got Clint Barkey. He's been on a whole bunch of stuff here in the Valley. He's playing as Mason, the rogue and fighter. We've got Caleb Symes. He's played as a couple of times in Rocky Horror.
Both Caleb and Clint were in A Twisted Christmas Carol last Christmas season. So.
And he's going to be playing as Happy the Warlock.
Happy the Warlock.
We've got Shelley
Warlocks
Heron.
are known to be quite jovial.
They have high charisma.
He's great. You should, come see that. Shelley Heron is going to be playing as Isabella the Witch. We've got Gage Griffin as Glorb the Goblin.
Glorb. Let's not forget Glorb.
We've got Leaf Long as Fred the Farmer.
Leaf, okay.
Yeah, we've got Alex Valderrama as Bolton.
Alex was just in Black Comedy with me. Liked Alex a lot. And his dad, years ago, sorry about making the show about me. My wife said, why are you making it about you? Well, it's my show, okay? But when we first opened the Riverside Playhouse many years ago, the first show I directed Dracula, and Alex's dad played Dracula. So it's cool. It's cool having these connections with people over the generations.
Yeah, so he's going to be playing a paladin named Bolton, and then we've got Althea Castro, that is Cynthia's daughter, and she's playing a cleric named Air.
Very talented young woman.
And then we've got myself as Riska the Barbarian.
Okay.
And then
I gotcha.
We've got Daryl Schmidt. He plays all of our other NPCs and monsters. He's kind of an all-around, playing all of the filler roles that we need throughout the night. And then we've got our hosts Skylar Cuthill and Allie McKee.
Okay.
And then we've got our tech as Cam Curtis and Lauren Lobsack. And then, of course, Tyson Ward as the Dungeon Master.
Okay. Well, know Lauren very well. Know Skylar as well. But what kind of tech is going on?
Yeah. So we've got a lot of sound cues for magic and doors opening and stuff like that. So he's got this big board and he operates all of that for us. It makes it really cool with music and making it feel like it's real. And
so this is kind of this is not just actors up on stage. You're actually going to have tech stuff. Lights and sound. Wow.
The lights are going to be sort of a preset, but as far as the sounds and the sensory stuff that's going around, we've kind of set that to make you feel like you're really in the scene.
Okay. Is there anything anybody who comes is not familiar with this has to be prepared for? I mean, now I don't mean to dwell on it, but choosing people out of the audience can sometimes get a little tricky. Okay, we want people to feel comfortable when they go, I don't want to do that because they might choose me. You see, how can we make sure we get around that?
Well, like I said earlier, if you don't want to, you can pass it off to somebody else. But
okay, so if, like, you choose me and I don't want to do it, I can say pass. Okay, all right, okay.
And we usually it would be somebody at your table you could pass it off to. Hopefully you come with friends and family.
Okay,
somebody who's maybe would be excited to play as Vriska the Valley Girl Barbarian or Lord the Goblin. Yeah,
well, I know that there are people that show up, not that I would do that myself, who want to be picked. Okay, so it sounds like you have given thought to this to make sure that people are going to be comfortable and not.
Yeah, nobody has to feel put on the spot. It's all about, the rule of cool and having fun with it. If ever you're not wanting to make the decisions, you're just wanting to sit and watch, there's options to pass things off, to not answer the questions. There will be lots of other people to be filling those spots. So there's not a lot of pressure.
Well, good. Give the show information again. When, where, how to get tickets.
This is the Mini Quest Tavern. It will be February 28th and March 1st, starting at 7 p.m. at Host Wenatchee, which is the address is 10 South Columbia Street, number 202.
Okay, and people can get tickets online.
Look us up on, hopefully, if you Google Mini Quest Tavern, it will come up. Also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and can they also they're going to get them at the door, I would imagine, right?
I don't think we are selling tickets at the door. They're only available beforehand on Ticketmaster and online.
Okay, well, thanks for being here. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.